shit. This is what you get for making thumbnails. Just trying to take a thumbnail picture, man. Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we're going to be doing something a little bit different and we're combining two of my favourite things in the whole world today, music and books, and we're meshing them together to create this wonderful video. So today I'm going to be recommending you guys books based on every song on Olivia Rodrigo's Sour album. Now I've been planning this video for literally a month and I was planning to release this video when the album came out, and I was gonna release it a couple weeks after, but it took a lot longer than I had anticipated to come up with all of the book recommendations for each song, because some of the songs were a lot harder than others and I had to read specific books that I thought would fit that song, and they some of them ended up not working, some of them did, and it took me a long time. So now here we are. It's well, it's almost September when I'm filming this. I think this video will be going up in September, so it's a fair few months later since the album came out and the hype has kind of gone down, but it's still an amazing album, so I thought I would still do this video. And yeah, if you guys want me to do any other artists or albums specifically, let me know and I can do those. But yeah, so it took me literally ages to come up with all of these, and I think most of them really work. Some of them are a little iffy for songs in particular. Driver's License and Deja Vu, those were really hard because no things that happened in the book really matched what the song was saying, and I couldn't think of anything, but eventually I did come up with a few books. Some songs have more than one book and some songs only have one because, like I said, some are harder than others. If you guys enjoy this video, and let's just get into it. Okay, so I'm going to be looking down at my phone quite a lot because I have all my notes on here for each song and also the lyrics for the song, so if I'm looking down at my phone, that is why. The first song on the album is Brutal. This is one of my favorites. I absolutely love this song, and I thought of a couple different books for this song, and this one was hard at first, but then I was like, oh my god, this book works perfectly, and then once I got one book I was like, oh my god, that works as well, and that works. And so I have two books that I chose because I had about four, but I was like, four's too many, let's narrow it down. So the first book is Bully by Penelope Douglas. Now I recently read this one and absolutely loved it, and this book is about Jared and Tate. And basically Jared and Tate are childhood best friends, but something happens that causes them to have a falling out, and when they start high school, I believe freshman year, Jared starts bullying Tate really badly. He basically makes everyone at the school hate her, except for her best friend, and no one likes her, and she has no idea why, because they used to be such good friends when they were younger. They're next door neighbors, I believe, and so they used to be such amazing friends when they were younger, but ever since this thing happened that she has no idea about, he started bullying her and continues to bully her. So the year before her senior year, she decides that she's going to go spend a year in France, and she spends a year in France, and then she comes back and she's not a completely different person, but she's decided that she's going to stand up for herself and not let Jared push her around and, you know, fight back. And so she starts doing that, and yeah, but basically most of her life it's been pretty brutal out there because she gets bullied, no one really likes her. And yeah, and Brutal is about, you know, it being hard in society to you know, just fit in, and being a teenager is hard. I'm so sick of 17, where's my fucking teenage dream. It really works for the book because, you know, Tate just wants to live her normal teenage life, but it's really hard because she keeps getting bullied, and it's just a constant thing every day, and he's really brutal towards her. And yeah, there's also one specific line that really works, the I love people I don't like, because that really works for Jared and Tate's relationship, because she loves him and loves the friendship that they used to have and how close they were, and she's always, you know, had feelings for him, but then he starts being awful to her, and so I love people I don't like really work. I'm so caught up in the news of who likes me and who hates you works as well, because she's just like so caught up in like everyone, not like she's not caught up in everyone like liking her, but it's more like she's just caught up in everything, and she's like, I just want to live a normal life. I don't want to be bullied constantly by this guy who is meant to be my best friend. I'm so tired that I might quit my job, start a new life. She literally goes and starts a new life, moves to France, you know, and then comes back, and she's like starting her life over in a way. They say these are the golden years, but I wish I could disappear really just represents her feelings. You're in her point of view throughout the whole book, and she's like, I'm sick of being here, like I'm sick of it. And like it's meant to be like the golden years of her life and stuff like that. And the next book I came up with is Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. This is one of my favorite books of all time, and this book is kind of similar in the way that Misha and Ryan are childhood pen pals and they're best friends, but they decided they're never going to share photos of each other and meet up in person, because they don't want to like tarnish the image that they've come up with of each other in their heads. And one day Misha finds out who Ryan is and sees her at this party, and then something happens and something goes wrong, and he ends up moving to her school and he starts bullying her. Ryan has no idea that it's him, and he's really confused as to why this like guy is just being awful to her. And yeah, so Ryan's life kind of really relates to Brutal, because she just wants to fit in and be, you know, popular, this popular like well-liked person, and she does try to be that, but it's fake, like it's not who she really is. And all her friends basically are fake, they're awful behind her back, and she just like wants to be this well-loved person. And I feel like a lot of the lyrics in here really relate. Like once again, they say these are the golden years, but I wish I could disappear. Like I'm so sick of 17, where's my fucking teenage dream really works as well, just for like her feelings throughout the book of how she just wants to fit in and be that popular well-liked person that like is the high school standard, but she just, it's not who she really is. And Misha knows this, and he sees that, and he's really like confused as to why she's putting on this front for everyone, and she's kind of mean to a few people just because her friends are. And yes, I feel like this song really works because it's like, it's brutal out there for a teenager, you know. The next song on the album is Traitor. I love this one as well. This one is All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. This is one of my favorite books from Colleen Hoover. It's so amazing, and this is about Quinn and Graham. And basically this book is told in dual timelines, past and present, and in the past you're seeing Quinn and Graham meet for the first time and fall in love for the first time, and then past the present timeline is them 7 years later, I believe, they're married, and their marriage is kind of falling apart. It's like their marriage is falling apart not because they don't love each other, because the love is still there and they're still so in love with each other, but it's just not working out, and it's really taking a toll on Quinn mainly, but Graham sees this, and Graham is just like, I just want what we had like back. And I feel like Traitor works for this, not entirely like the whole song, because the song is about like someone like, you know, betraying them and like getting with another girl, and that, you know, doesn't happen, but it's just like kind of the God, I wish that I had thought this through before I went and fell in love with you kind of works, because of you know, their struggle. And Quinn is thinking like, oh my god, like I love him, but I just like I can't like do this, like I can't, because it's such a struggle. And also that You Betrayed Me, it really works for a certain part of the book, and if you've read it you know what I'm talking about. Someone does something that's not very nice, and also the whole reason that they even meet is because, this is like not a spoiler, I'm pretty sure it's in the synopsis, but the whole reason they even meet is because both of their, Quinn's boyfriend or Quinn's fiance I think, and Graham's girlfriend are actually sleeping together, and they're cheating on both of them, and they meet outside the apartment and they're like, what the heck, and then they're like, oh, looks like both of our significant others are actually cheating on us with each other. Great. So the, you know, you betrayed me, you're still a traitor kind of works for that part as well. Like all the questions you used to avoid, and it's funny, remember I brought it up and you told me I was paranoid. I'm pretty sure Graham used to bring it up a few times to his girlfriend, and she was like, no, like that's not happening. Like, the next song on the album is One Step Forward, Three Steps Back, and I have two books once again for this song. The first one is After by Anna Todd, and now I know pretty much everyone has read this book, but it works so perfectly for this song. It literally is Harden and Tessa's relationship to a T. So I'm not really going to talk about what Arc is about because I feel like everyone knows, but just the one step forward, 3 steps back is their relationship. They move 1 step forward in their relationship and then something happens, they have a fight and they go 3 steps back, and it happens constantly. And the you got me fucked up in the head, boy, never doubted myself so much, really works for Tessa's feelings throughout a lot of the first book and pretty much all of them. I'm the love of your life until I make you mad. Perfect for their relationship because it kind of works both ways with that one. It's like Tessa is so in love with him and he's so in love with her, but something happens, they have a fight and one of them will make someone mad and then they won't talk and they get like so frustrated with each other, and it's just so frustrating to read, but this song just works so well. Do you love me, want me, hate me, boy, I don't understand. Really works for Tessa's feelings mostly throughout the first book, because she has no idea how Harden's really feeling, and like something will happen, they'll have a fight, and then it's like, do you love me, want me, hate me, boy, like I don't get it, I don't understand. This paragraph works so well, and maybe in some masochistic way I kind of find it all exciting, like which lover will I get today? Will you walk me to the door or will you send me home crying? It's literally like perfect because Tessa never knows what type of like person Harden's gonna be. Is he gonna be in a good mood? Is he gonna be in a bad mood? Are they gonna have a fight today? Is someone gonna do something to cause someone to get mad? Like, are you gonna walk me to the door or are you gonna send me home crying, you know? And the next book that I came up with is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Specifically, Lily and Ra's relationship really works for a lot of the lyrics in this song. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but the line specifically, do you love me, want me, hate me, boy, I don't understand, you'll love my life till I make you mad, really works so well for this book. Yeah, but I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it, but I feel like a lot of people have read the book by now, and if you haven't, you need to. It is stunning and I feel like everyone needs to read it. It's so good. The song on the album is Enough For You, and I came up with The Third Best Thing by Maya Hughes. This book is phenomenal, and basically I feel like this song really represents how Jules is feeling throughout a lot of her the start of her relationship with Berkeley. So basically this book is a secret admirer romance, and Jules ends up writing these really like dirty sexual letters to Berkeley, her next door neighbor, anonymously, and then Berkeley starts writing back and they start writing back and forth, but then all of a sudden Jules stops writing them and Berkeley's really confused because he really had this connection to this girl who he doesn't even know, and so he is actually friends with Jules in like real life because of his friend's relationship with her best friend, and like they see each other quite often, and so he's like, Jules, I need you to help me find out who the secret admirer is, and Jules agrees, and they go on this hunt for the secret admirer. Little does he know it's actually Jules, and slowly he starts falling for her, all while trying to find this other person, and it's stunning. But Jules suffers with a lot of body image issues. She's very insecure about her body, and doesn't think that anyone will like her because of the way that she looks. She's a curvier girl and she's very insecure about that, and so Enough For You I feel like really works for how she's feeling, because she never feels like she's going to be enough for Berkeley because of the way that she looks, and Berkeley's like, that's ridiculous. But the song doesn't work in the sense that it's like, I'm not enough for you because you're with another girl. It's just the like, all I ever wanted was to be enough. Like, I feel like I'm not enough, but I want to be enough for you. But Berkeley never makes her feel like she's not enough. So the song works in the sense that she doesn't feel like she is enough, even though she is. The lyrics, like, I thought like you'd like me more like if I wore makeup, or like so I'd look like the other girls that you've dated. But like the lyrics, like, I found someone more exciting. Like that stuff doesn't work, because the song is about being enough, for not being enough for someone because they found, like, you know, someone else and you feel like you weren't enough when you were with them. It's not like that, but yeah. The album is Happier. Now this one was really difficult at first. It was so hard to come up with a song, and I literally had no idea for the longest time, and then I read this book and I was like, oh my god, this works so perfectly. This is actually 2 books in a series, but you can read them as standalones. You have to read these two books together though. The first two books in the series you can read as standalones. It's the Royal Hearts Academy series by Ashley Jade, and the books that I'm going to be talking about for this song are Wicked Princess and Broken Kingdom. Those two books go hand in hand and you can't read those as standalones. Or at least you can't read Broken Kingdom as a standalone because it ties in with the stuff that happens in Wicked Princess. So basically this is about, Broken Kingdom is about Bianca and Oakley. And so basically Bianca is in another relationship with this guy named Stone, I think. Is his name Stone? I haven't read it in a hot minute. I think it's Stone. And she's in a relationship with him, but she used to be with Oakley and they were so happy, but then something happened and caused them to not be together anymore. And so a lot of Oakley's feelings throughout the book are like, I hope you're happy, I just want you to be happy, I want you to thrive in life because he wants the best for her, but I don't want you to be as happy as you were with me, so I hope you're happy but not like how you were with me. Like, I'm selfish, I know, I can't let you go, so find someone great but don't find someone better. The whole song just works so well for the way that Oakley is feeling about Bianca and Bianca being with Stone, because he wants her to be happy, but just not how happy that they were together, because they're kind of perfect for each other. The next song on the album is Jealousy, Jealousy. The book that I picked for this is actually another book in the Royal Hearts Academy series, and this is the second book, Ruthless Night. Ruthless Night? Also by Ashley Jade, and this book is one of my favorite books of all time. It is phenomenal. It follows Cole and Sawyer. Once again, Sawyer is, you know, a bigger, curvier girl, and she doesn't feel like she's gonna be enough for Cole, but they've always kind of had this connection, and then they start fake dating because Cole needs her to be his fake girlfriend for this thing. And yeah, it is enemies to lovers because of some stuff that happened, and they literally don't like each other. Well, she doesn't like him because of stuff that he said, but they start forming this connection they've always kind of had. And yeah, it's literally stunning. I love this book so much. Cole Covington is everything. It's also freaking heartbreaking. But the reason I picked Jealousy, Jealousy is because the whole song literally relates to how Sawyer is feeling throughout 90% of the book. It's like, I kind of want to throw my phone across the room because all I see are girls too good to be true with paper white teeth and perfect bodies, because literally all the girls at her school are super skinny, you know, all these pretty skinny cheerleaders, which is the perfect, you know, perfect girl in guys' opinions. And that's how she feels, and she's like, I just like, all I see are girls too good to be true, you know, with paper white teeth, perfect bodies, and I just want to be like that, you know. I know that beauty's not my life, but it feels like that. Weight is on my back and I can't let it go. Co-comparison is killing me softly because, you know, obviously in today's society, social standards fucking suck, and if you're not like this perfect skinny person, then you're not considered pretty, and that is how she's feeling a lot of the time. She feels like she's not pretty enough because she isn't like all these other girls that she sees around her school, and she gets bullied a lot by them. She gets called, you know, like fat and like all this stuff, and her mum is awful to her as well. I think too much about kids who don't know me. Like, they don't really know her, they don't know what she's like, they don't know what a kind-hearted person she is. I'm so sick of myself. Rather be anyone else, but Jealousy started following me. Works perfectly because she's literally like, I'm sick of being myself. Like, I just want to be this pretty skinny perfect girl because that's what she thinks she has to be considered beautiful, which is not true whatsoever. The song on the album is Favorite Crime. Now, I came up with two books. The first one is Duplicity. It's Harry Styles fan fiction on Wattpad. It's not a published book, but this book is phenomenal, and literally every lyric in this relates to Avon and Harry's relationship in Duplicity. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but if you guys know me, you know I'm obsessed. And just Favorite Crime, like, I hope I was your favorite crime. Know that I loved you so bad, I let you treat me like that. I was your willing accomplice, honey. All the things I did just so I could call you mine. Stunning, just works so well. And the second book that I came up with is Kill Switch by Penelope Douglas. Now, this is the third book in the Devil's Night series, and you kind of can't read it as a standalone, but I thought I'd chuck it in here anyway just because it relates so well to these lyrics. So Winter and Damon, oh, I love them so much. Damon is literally everything. Don't even get me started. I can't deal with it. But basically, Damon sleeps with her when she is underage. He is 19 and she's 16, and yeah, they sleep together, all consensual, but he actually ends up going to jail for rape, even though it wasn't rape, but you know, it's considered rape because she was underage. And her dad's like the mayor or something. And so yeah, he ends up going to jail. Anyway, fast forward 6 years later, he's been out of jail for like 3 years, and he ends up marrying her sister to move in with her. And he is awful to Winter because he wants revenge on her family, wants to take everything away from her, everything that she loves, and make her life miserable. But they have always had this connection, and they have a history and a past, obviously, but it goes like so deep, and Damon has always, you know, like loved her, but he doesn't want to admit it to himself because of everything that's happened. And so I Hope I Was Your Favorite Crime really works because, you know, technically he committed a crime by wanting to like be with her. I watched As You Fled the Scene, The White As You Buried Me, One Heart Broke, Four Hands Bloody, really works. I Was Your Willing Accomplice Honey, that worked really well for a lot of their relationship as well. And like all the things I did just so I could call you mine, like all the things that Damon did, all of this was just so he could have her. Like, because he wanted her like that badly but wouldn't admit it to himself, and didn't think he was like good enough for her in a way. And every time the sirens sound, I wonder if you're around because you know that I'd do it all again, is kind of how Winter feels as well. Yeah, everything we broke and all the trouble that we made, but I say that I hate you with a smile on my face really works, because like just for so many things that happen throughout the book, like if you've read it you know what I'm talking about. But we have Hope You're Okay, also Cruel Prince, which is the first book in the Royal Hearts Academy series. I feel like I recommend every book in this series. If you couldn't tell, it's one of my favorites. And this is just how Dylan feels towards Jace. Dylan basically was childhood best friends with Jace, and then something happened and caused them to have a falling out, and she moved away, and then she comes back for her senior year of high school. No, senior year? Yes. And Jace is awful to her, starts bullying her, hates her for this thing that she did, that he thought that she did. But before Dylan comes back, she's just always thinking in the back of her mind, like, I hope that he's okay. Like, I hope that that boy is okay because he deserves it and he deserves to be okay. And then she gets to school and he's awful to her. The second verse really works. My middle school friend grew up alone. He raised her brother. Like, I know it's she, but like it relates to Jace's life, because he raised his brother and sister on his own, basically. Her parents hated who she loved. She couldn't wait to go to college. She was tired because she was brought into a world where family was merely blood. Works so well because Jace basically raised his whole family on his own. He had to do that because he was the oldest, and his parents were kind of trash. And like family, like just blood doesn't make family, because he has so many amazing friends that are better than a lot of his like family would have ever been to him. The next song is Good For You. I love this song. And the book that I came up with is Ruthless King by Maya Hughes. This book is the third book in the Kings of Rittenhouse series. You can read it as a standalone. I would recommend reading it in like reading the books in order, just because it works so well when you do that. And yeah, so this one's kind of a bit of a reach because I really couldn't think of anything else. But basically, throughout the series, you see that Emmett and Avery were high school sweethearts. They were so in love, so like perfect for each other, and then something happens that causes them to have a falling out. And basically, fast forward a couple years later, just graduated college, maybe. They go away for this like trip, and they're both not meant to be there because they can't stand to be around each other because of this thing that happened. But Avery ends up going because Emmett's not meant to be there, and then Emmett surprises them and shows up, and so it's kind of like forced proximity. They're forced to be together. Avery's like, no, I'm leaving. Emmett's like, no, I'm leaving. But they both end up having to stay and sort out their issues, and they basically think that the other one is thriving in their life and doesn't really care about the other one, when in reality that's not true. So like, good for you, you look happy and healthy, not me. If you ever cared to ask, really works, because like Emmett thinks that Avery's thriving, and it's like, yeah, good for you, you look happy and healthy, but I'm not okay. And Avery feels the same way, but in reality that's not true, and both of them just miss each other. So I felt like this song really worked. The next song is Driver's License. Now this one was so difficult to come up with a song for it, but I picked two books. One relates more than the other. Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan is the first book in the Hoop series. This book is phenomenal, and basically the whole of Iris and August's relationship really works for the line, I know we weren't perfect, but I've never felt this way for no one. Because their relationship isn't perfect. They go through a lot of ups and downs, a lot of we can't be together because it's not the right time, but we want to be together because they've never felt this way about another person before. August literally says it in the book. He's like, I've never felt this way about a girl before. Like, she's the one, she's perfect for me, I'm gonna fight for her. Like, I've never felt this way about someone before. And it works so well, just that line specifically. The rest of the song doesn't really relate, but that line works so well. And the next book that I came up with is The Stopover by T.L. Swan. Now, a lot of this, different parts of the song really work. So, I know we weren't perfect, but I never felt this way for no one works really well again, because they've never felt this way about another person before, like I said. But also the Now I Drive Alone Past Your Street. Now I Drive Alone Past Your Street really, really works because Jameson and Emily have a falling out. Then I don't think they're like officially together yet, but something happens that causes them to not speak, and so basically they work together. He is her boss, and she, when they were like, you know, seeing each other, he used to give her rides home from work, and since they've had this falling out and they're not really talking, he ends up driving past her street on his way home from work because he takes the long way so he can drive past her apartment. And so Now I Drive Alone Past Your Street really, really works because it's like, I used to drive past here, drop you off, and then go home. But now, since we're not talking at the moment, I drive alone past your street, and it just works so well. The last song is Deja Vu. I was the most difficult. And the book that I'd come up with, I'm still not entirely happy with, but I needed a book, and this was the only one that I could think of that even remotely related. And yeah, this literally, I can't think of anything else, but this book that I thought of for Deja Vu is The Revenge Pact by Isla Madden Mills, or Isla Madden Mills. I have no idea how to say her name, but this is about River and Anna, and basically they've always kind of had this connection, and you see it throughout the book. Like, they'll have all these little touches and like all these like longing looks at each other, and they're like, they kind of want to be together, but it's enemies to lovers, and they just like can't, because Anna is in a relationship, and even if she was to break up with her boyfriend, he is one of River's fraternity brothers, and so they have like this rule, it's like bro code type of thing. It's like, you can't date one of your friends or your fraternity brother's exes, even though like they're not really, like, they're friends, but they're not like really friends. And so River is like, well, if I can't have her, then I can't be around her, I have to like be mean to her, so she stays away, because otherwise I'm gonna like do something that is gonna cause me to lose a friend. And so yeah, he basically just wants her to, do you get deja vu when she's with you? Like, do you call her Almost Say My Name? Because it's like, you know, they kind of want to be together, but like she's always thinking about River, and it's like, do you get deja vu? Like, when are you thinking about me when you're with him? But yeah, this book doesn't really work all that well, but just some of the lines work, and I'm just like, I'm reaching so hard for this one, trying to make it work. But yeah, so I came up with that book. It doesn't really work, but it kind of does, because it's like, you know, you want to be with me, like you're thinking about me when you're with him, do you get deja vu? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I absolutely loved filming it. It was kind of stressful, not gonna lie. But yeah, if you guys want me to do any other songs or artists or albums, let me know, and I can be sure to do those, because once again, I love music, I love books, we're combining those, and this is just my favorite thing. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you did, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.